Ryan here, tuning in to Ask Us Wholesaler, episode 9. Here with Marco,
Get
and
Logan
here
in
with
there.
Logan as well. Be sure to tune in where we'll be going through questions such as how to find cash buyers, how do you find good deals, how do you get those questions from the seller.
Some good books as well. And we're going to find out where Logan would live if he didn't live in the United States.
That's right.
Exactly. So tune in.
Alright, so we are in episode 9 now, and of the Ask Wholesale show, and we have two very special guests that have all kinds of different perspectives to share with us, which I think you will very much enjoy. First, we have Logan Fullmer, and we also have Ryan McDonald. So welcome, gentlemen.
Morning. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
Morning, afternoon, evening, the whole thing, right? I
Yep.
totally feel like a game show host right now, seriously. You know, bring them on down. Hey, this might be like, you might win a car at the end of this. We'll see. Okay, well, cool. So tell us a little bit about yourselves and your company and what you do.
Well, as you said, I'm Logan Fullmer. My company is Easy House Buyer San Antonio. Basically, we're a family managed fund that invests in real estate. We're a holding company. So we do real property development, title resolutions, and rentals.
So a little bit of everything, but
Yeah.
helping a lot of people, especially you focus on the title aspect when you're helping your sellers.
This
out
is the
there.
smarter side of real estate. A
Yeah.
lot of people can go out there and throw deals together, but we're the smarter side of real estate, really.
And you really are helping those people that need the help, which is awesome. And
That's
how about
right,
you,
yeah.
Ryan?
Exactly. Well, I partner with Logan on a lot of these deals that we do. So it's basically partnership that started, I don't know, about 9-10 months ago.
Yep.
And just kind of developing, and basically our key focus is how do we help sellers out of whatever situation they're in that needs some assistance from someone specialized like us.
That's awesome. I'm really excited about this episode because, Logan, I know with you and your company, you have purchased quite a number of properties and you are like the quintessential cash buyer. I know you've done some wholesaling, but you're the cash buyer pretty much. And then with Ryan, you've done a lot of wholesale deals, but you've also purchased your own investment deals. And that's kind of where this partnership came about, is you were bringing both your unique traits and attributes. And in this episode, I really wanted to go over like how do we look at things from the wholesaler perspective, but also since you both have bought your own investment deals as well, how do we look at it from that perspective as well?
Okay.
Which is insightful. All right, so we're just going to get right into it. We're going to look at the first question. So, first question is, what info do I get from the seller? I heard you all talking a little bit about this earlier. So, how do you all approach it when you're talking to a seller?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this one here. It's the questions. There are 1,000 of them, and I won't say there's an exact train of thought. However, there are certain ones that you want to ask, like you said. But the key is to ask a whole bunch of them, and some of them you may think they're relevant. Sometimes you might not, but you wind up uncovering things that are good to know. And we'll talk about the exact questions in a minute. But I noticed the first time you communicate with somebody, there's a certain level that they're willing to allow you into. I guess it's a comfort zone, so you get a certain distance. The next time you communicate with them, you get a little closer. If you're able to have the ability to sit down at their dinner table and talk with them, you can get really intimate. So all of that begins with questions. So, I guess you want to start out with what's going on today. What's the situation that made you want to sell your house? Do you want to sell it? Who owns the house? How long have you owned the house? Where do you plan to go after you leave? And those questions are kind of the first quick ones that get you into the rest of them. You got to, every time they ask you a question, ask. It's like a child. Why? When? Every time you ask them a question, why? You got to keep doing that. And that eventually gets you to the point where you understand what's really going on there.
Ask the same question several times. You might get some different answers.
You're right. Yeah, it's like a detective. You're trying to figure something out. You don't know what you're trying to figure out yet, but when you hear it, you know.
I love that, definitely. When it comes to talking to sellers, yes, the more information you can get is only going to benefit you, and the way you get that information is through the questions. And what I would say is, obviously, when you're talking to sellers, you need to be asking questions about the house, the condition and things like that. But what you really need to remember is you're talking to a person, and that person typically has some sort of issue, problem, situation in which there's a reason in which they want to sell. So if you can connect with the individual, find out why are they in this position, what are the best ways that you can help them, what are they trying to get out of selling the property, and find out what their reasons are, their whys are, their problems, so that you can service them and help them as an individual, as a person. You're going to get a lot further with them. So I would really work on, or suggest that you work on getting that type of information, finding out who you're talking to, what that person is, and what their situation is.
Let me give you an example. I was talking to somebody a while back, and they mentioned the magic wand question. Are you familiar with that?
No, I haven't heard of that. Magic
if you
wand
had a
question?
magic wand and you could wave it right now and get anything, what would it be? And it's interesting because people will start to tell you their wishes. And a lot of times, because of the nature of your visit, they'll relate to what's going on. And all of a sudden you find out the perfect solution for them just by asking that.
They'll tell you how to do it right there on the spot.
Yeah. And in reality, the reality is if they don't have a need to be met, you don't have any business being at their house. So that's a good way to get there quick.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. I think that was pretty solid. All right. So next question. Where can I find cash buyers for my deals? So since y'all are cash buyers, where could people find you if they were seeking you out?
I think, if you were to look at the local, foreclosure auction, there's always cash buyers there. I've also just happened to find people through networking, other cash buyers who are serious cash buyers who typically will not beat you up over a deal that you have. So it's all about, for us, mostly networking for the most part.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Your network, you've heard 1,000 times, your network is your net worth. And there are a ton of deals that we've been a part of or we've seen happen and it didn't make any sense. We wind up on the back end over here trying to figure something out, and it was because we knew people. I've found memos of title recorded in the county records when I'm looking at vacant houses, and I see that memo. I say, I know the person that's got it. So I call them and say, what exactly happened here? And I had a relationship with that person. What exactly happened? This is the problem. I say, well, if I get this done, will you let me have the deal? Next thing you know, you're solving their problem. You got a new deal because you just happened to meet someone at a networking event and you saw a stinking memo title in county records. So it's really, the network is a huge thing.
That's totally, I completely agree with that. And networking doesn't just apply to going to networking events and shaking hands and trading business cards and those type of things. Networking also can apply in the social media aspect. You're probably watching this video on Facebook right now, and there's probably other cash buyers in the feed, in the comments. What you can really easily do is go to some Facebook groups, and you can post your deal or a deal similar to yours, or just say, hey, what cash buyers are in the zip code. You're going to get people to respond to that. But not only just your post, go through the history of that page, that group, and look at other people that have done posts like that, and all the people that have commented there is a great way to find people. You can buy cash buyers lists from websites like listsource.com. You can mail cash buyers. You can go on MLS, like he was mentioning, look up some agents that have done cash transactions and ask them, reach out to those agents and see if they have an investor client that can purchase your deal. You can ask title company attorneys and say, hey, what are some investors? I've gotten tons of investors just from my title company contacts, those type of things. So just getting yourself out there. Bandit signs, you can put bandit signs with your deal in the area around that deal.
One of my favorite leads are free leads. We all like free leads, right? They take a little bit of your time if they're going to be free. You want 30 good cash buyer leads in 4 hours? That sounds like a lot, right? Get in your car with a piece of paper and a pen and go drive around a neighborhood where rehabs are happening, go look at all the recently flipped houses, write down the addresses, go home and find those people, skip trace them. Now you have 30 in one day. That's a lot. Mm-hmm. And you know that they understand that neighborhood and that market, and they're currently operating. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been involved in the deal there. So that's fast and easy.
Yeah, especially if you have the deal in that neighborhood, boom, those are all the buyers, clearly.
They totally understand it already.
Yeah. I like your idea, too, with the going to the auction. All those people there, for sure.
Pretty much
they got
everyone
cash that day.
Buyer, so.
They're trying to throw away money, so hey, they'll buy your deal. Cool. Okay, so our last real estate theme question for today is, Do you recommend any books for a new wholesaler? And maybe just like a new investor in general, any new books?
I think a good book for a new wholesaler is one we were speaking about, Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. It's a very good book, and I think it's a good way for a wholesaler to help drill down to what are the real motivations for a seller, to how to get those key questions answered so you know how you can service them the best.
So Chris Voss was a high-level FBI hostage negotiator. He had this huge career of very high-profile cases, and his goal was his job was negotiating with people and understanding their why and getting to walk out of that building without blowing everybody up. That's a pretty high-profile, high-pressure situation, but the lessons he learned there applied directly to what we're doing, and his chapters are each on a different skill about that. What was your favorite one out of all of them that you can recall?
I like the mirroring aspect.
Damn
I remember when we were even speaking
which one?
the mirroring,
Yeah.
mirroring technique. Because I
Yeah.
remember when I was speaking to him about it, he started using it on me, and I didn't even realize it because I didn't realize he had read it. So I mean, it works, and it's worked for me to at least kind of be able to get more information.
You drink some water, he drinks some water, that kind of thing.
You drink some water.
Yeah. What do you mean drink some
Well,
water?
hey, I mean, like mirroring you. You know, you drink some water, he drinks some water, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing?
Yeah, that.
Well, I haven't read the book, so I was just throwing it out there. As a
He's
mirror.
actually just mirroring you right
Okay.
now. So.
So you just told me that you give me an example, then you told me you haven't read the book, so you're giving me a lot of information, and I was just repeating what you
just
said.
use all these FBI techniques on me. I need a disclaimer beforehand.
It's a great book.
A
I think there's
disclosure at a minimum.
it's a great book. I think there's a lot of lessons you can learn out of it. And a lot of those things sound really peculiar and uncomfortable at first because you believe people will understand what you're doing, but the reality is you're just saying things that make them feel comfortable in a way they already put it to you.
Mhm.
So what was the name of that one again?
Never split the difference.
Never Split the Difference. Oh, well, now I have to read that. So I'm going to use it on you next time. Better watch out. Better watch out. For me, I honestly, from a wholesaling standpoint, I know that there's a book out there that's like, and maybe y'all have seen this. I haven't read it, but it's really popular for wholesalers. It's like, I forget the name of it. It's like, if you don't know how to wholesale by the end of this, I got nothing for you. I think
I've
it's like
seen that,
Tom Fleming or something like that. So look that book up. I've heard really good things about that. I really like Rich Dad Poor Dad. I talked about that a lot, but that's not specific for wholesaling. That's just like general financial and money, cash flow kind of thought process.
That was a big book in my mind shift whenever I came into this field. So that's definitely got its place. But I think a lot of the tactical uses from Never Split the Difference could really benefit a wholesaler.
Well, obviously, it worked on me like 10 seconds ago. I got to be careful asking this question. You might answer it with a question or something. All right, so now we're going to do a fun question. So we're taking off our real estate hat. And this question is, if you couldn't live in the United States, where would you live?
Well, I know off the bat it'd be Australia.
Australia?
So, yeah.
Why Australia?
Well, I've always liked Australia. I mean, it is a dangerous place. Anything and everything there can kill you. But I've been there
You like
before.
living on the edge, huh?
Pretty much.
You're gonna go skydiving in Australia.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, the people there are great. It's a beautiful country, and overall, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot to experience there that's different than what you can imagine.
And there's not much of a culture shock, They speak English there, the weather's relatively similar, and, a lot of the culture is the same for the most part. I mean, they do drive on the other side of the road. I mean, I guess
So does he, so that's fine.
Whichever side's convenient, right?
Yeah, exactly. Whichever one makes for better time.
So, okay, in Australia, would you prefer a particular city or just anywhere?
I've been to Sydney and I've been to Cairns. They both bring lots of value in their own way. One's kind of a bigger city, one's a smaller, kind of more beach style town. So they both have great aspects to them. So I don't know if I'd be able to select between which one.
So all of them, all
Pretty
of
much
them.
live everywhere. Yeah.
And swim around the Great Barrier Reef too, huh?
Exactly.
Okay, so what about you, Logan? Where would you live?
When I got out of college, I spent a summer in Costa Rica.
Oh, yeah?
And I loved Costa Rica. It was very calm. It was very relaxing. At the time, it was a lot less populated than it probably is now. But it was just
Beach
a place.
is probably amazing.
They were great. It was just a place of relaxation. It was a different kind of culture than we have here. It wasn't so hard driven. So maybe in about 10 years, that's where we'll go.
So it's the peace. You like the peace, the calm, but being in the moment, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, here we're so or oftentimes we're so ultra focused.
Right.
We're taught to be like that. Our culture here is like that. And if you don't perform like that, you're almost afraid that you're not doing good enough. But there they have what's called pura vida, which is pure life. And I just thought it meant all these people are lazy when I was younger. The older I got, I realized they kind of understand.
They're on to something.
There's some meanings to life that we miss here sometimes. So I like that.
I like that answer. I haven't been to Costa Rica. I've been to Australia. I haven't been to Costa Rica. I need to take a break and go over there. I think for me, I would say Italy. When I was younger, I visited Italy when I was like 14, 15. And it had such a great impression on me. I really enjoyed it just for the history. Clearly, there's a lot of history there. Just the art was beautiful, and the people in Italy were just so kind and just nice people, and also that laid-back feeling of just like enjoying life and enjoying their surroundings. And they were just surrounded by these beautiful buildings and beautiful art. Just the whole thing was a wonderful experience. So I would totally go there for sure. Have either of y'all been there?
No, I've never been there.
No.
Yep, been out there to Venice.
Venice?
Yeah, the city on sticks out there. Yeah, it was neat. It was really interesting. Of course,
Yeah.
that's kind of a tourist area.
Yeah.
We went to some other areas that weren't quite so touristy.
Ride a gondola or anything?
Did do that.
All
Did a
right.
lot of walking. Did
Yeah, a
that.
lot
Stayed
of
out there for a while. We went a little further inland to Lago di Garda, which is like a inland lake that's kind of like a local tourist place. So that was cool. It was really cool.
That's awesome. Well, okay, there we go. And what we want to find out is where you would want to live if you don't live in the United States, and if you already don't live in the United States, pick a different country than where you're already in. Let's hear it. Put them in the comments. I do want to say thank you. So I appreciate you both being on and giving us your perspectives and your information as well. So if people wanted to connect with you, what would be the best way for them to do that?
You can get us both on Facebook. Easy Housepire San Antonio, Logan Fullmer, Ryan McDonald. Hopefully we're showing up in your newsfeed right now, so you just need to click on us.
We'll make sure you're tagged in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Also, Lisette's probably down in her comments, so you can click on her and get there too.
She's part of your team.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely reach out to them. They're very open, willing to help. Like they mentioned previously, they want to do deals and help people, and it's all about helping one another. We appreciate it. Give us some more questions. We want to answer your questions, and so we can cover them on a future episode. But we'll see you on the next one. So everybody knows that wholesaling in real estate can be a great opportunity to control your workday, to bring in lots of money and kind of unlock the doors to real estate investing. But there are a lot of struggles and hurdles and problems that come along with being a wholesaler on your own. So what are some of those problems that people face every day?
I can get started. One of the problems is that they're not really too sure of what to do with themselves. You can read as many books as you want, and you can get as much information as you want, but a lot of the times people have a problem starting because they don't really know where to start, and they don't even know if they're doing the right thing. To be honest with you, they want to make sure that they don't mess it up, but I mean, it's just a huge problem to getting that first step, getting that first action completed. Is one of the biggest problems. Right.
Yep. Another problem is wearing too many hats. You're always having to look for buyers. You're always having to look for sellers. You're in communication with the title company all the time. You're trying to figure out all your systems, the CRM. You're doing all the tech stuff. You might be looking for a virtual assistant and trying to go through the process of hiring somebody like that. You're having to do every little component, so that can be overwhelming in itself.
For me, I still get asked these questions. What do I do to generate leads? And when I was by myself, I only knew one way to generate leads. And now that I'm with Hilco, there's all kinds of ways to generate leads. And so that's one thing that I've learned, or that I've picked up by joining Hilco, is that there's so much knowledge here on this team. I mean, 10 plus years?
Right.
And then about what, 3, 4, maybe.
About
So I mean, combined.
He keeps adding years.
I keep adding years. The fish just keeps getting bigger. I swear it was this big when I caught it.
I know. So combined about 14 years, and me as a newer wholesaler, like I said, I've been doing it about 3 months, but he tells me all the time, and I actually noticed, like, when I go to these seminars or these events, he's like, dude, you're light years ahead. And sure enough, like these people say I've been wholesaling 6 months or 7 months or 8 months, and like I find myself answering their questions in my head, like, how do they not know that? Like,
Even
they-
people who have been wholesaling for 2-3
Yeah,
years,
like-
or I've seen people who have been wholesaling 2-3 years ask him questions that they don't know the answer to, but he does. And he's
and
been
be
doing it
surprised,
for-
like I actually catch myself telling wholesalers, like, do this, and I'm like, and I've only been doing it 3 months, but I just have so much knowledge because I'm with this team. It was the best thing that I could do for myself to get where I want to get to.
So if you're someone out there that you're wholesaling by yourself and you're encountering problems not only on the side of like always trying to get the next one, but also problems with consistency, keeping the momentum going, and not being overwhelmed and stressed all the time. We at Hilco Homes, we're a wholesaling company here in Central Texas, and we do a pretty good volume. There's a pretty good team, and we're looking for people that want to join us, that want to be part of our system. Some of the benefits that we provide to people that join us is we always have leads for you to work. You're part of a system-oriented approach, so we have CRM systems, we have calling systems, you have access to a virtual assistant. What are some other benefits of being part of the team?
For me, it's if I have a question, Juan's sitting right here or Marco's sitting right there, and it's just like versus calling somebody or leaving a text message and waiting for an answer to come back. You're sitting right here with the team. I mean, it'll just make the process and everything a lot more faster to get to where you want to get to faster. For one, for me, the biggest thing is cost. Leveraging cost to generate leads and to generate each other's and piggyback off of each other's stuff.
I think that's the biggest benefit is having people there who are not only are they able to answer your questions instantaneously, but we're also able to you're also able to see us structure these deals so you can learn by watching. Apart from just asking, you're seeing us negotiate, you're listening to us negotiate, you're listening to us, you're watching us write out the contracts, you're listening to us do all these things, and you just pick up on that stuff. You soak it up like a sponge a lot of the times, and before you know it, you know more than what most people know just by joining the team. So it's a huge benefit to have people who are like-minded and working towards the same goal in the same area, so that you're not struggling to climb that mountain by yourself. You've got a team helping you.
We're definitely a team. This is Tim Duncan over here, and this is Kawhi over here, and
Pop.
All right, I'll pop. I have to yell at him every once in a while. But we're always trying to give support. We're trying to give knowledge. We're trying to accelerate your growth because we don't want people just to be wholesalers. We want to help them become investors as well. And you get access to all the different components. We'll pay for leads for you. You have access to our buyers list and access to all of our systems. And we're looking for the right people that are not afraid of rejection, not afraid of hard work, and are willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish their goals, because quite honestly, that's who we are. And we're trying to build our team so that all of us can be successful. So if you're interested, send us a message, reach out to us. You can message these guys, and we'd be glad to talk to you more and give you more information about our hiring process and see if you can be part of the team with us. So we're looking forward to having you come out.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Talk to y'all later.